What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back as we're answering more questions yet again in another installment that you guys pretty much know as For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Just a Guy Drawing did. He asks, with the return of the Silent King, do you think we will somehow eventually see Big E himself or beings of a similar power level on the tabletop sometime in the not so distant future?
Well, unfortunately, Biggie has passed. You might have not known the whole beef with like Tupac and all that. But
East and West. And you know what ends up happening? Somebody takes it a little too serious and they die.
yeah,
They get shot at. Which it could happen in real life. Oh no, it did happen in real life.
yeah.
But so I think there's two things. I think the first thing that GW has to do is actually give the Silent King the power level that he deserves, which is kind of difficult, seeing that as the Necrons are already kind of pretty good. And then secondly, they have to progress the story in a way that they bring about the Emperor, which is a big like question mark in and of itself. Because there's multiple ways to bring the Emperor back, and it means a lot of different things depending on how they bring him back.
Yeah, there's always a lot, not just tied to the lore, but to please people. Because as we all know, it's a business. And the way to please everybody, as we've all seen, is to make it focused on Space Marines. So with the Emperor coming back, it's like, how is that going to affect the way people buy models? Is there going to be like new Adeptus Custodes models? Is there going to be a new Space Marine chapter that's all about the Emperor? Like, what exactly are they going to do? And it's interesting to see like what direction they take it in.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of a dry run to just figure out what the us as gamers or us as hobbyists are going to do when they do bring back such a monumental figure.
Right.
Because the Silent King has been part of the Necron lore for a long time. So just like the Emperor was part of, or has been part of 40K since, Rogue Trader, bringing back the Silent King, you're going to find out if people continue to play and continue to purchase models now that they've reached kind of like the end game or the end point of that faction.
Right.
So I think GW is kind of like eyeballing the Necron players.
Yeah, definitely. This is a huge precursor to what we might see with the Big E coming back.
Yeah, because kind of like what you were saying, like how is it going to impact the actual purchasing of the minis? And I think bringing back the Emperor in his original form, it can't just be like, okay, you bring him back, but there has to be something with it. We're going to see that with the Silent King. The Silent King's not just going to come back by himself. He's going to come back with pariahs. He's going to come back with basically a whole new, what I speculate to be a model line of Necrons stealing the bodies of humans. Because that's kind of what was hinted at with the cryptic.
You think it's going to be humans?
Yeah, definitely humans. I don't know specifically if it's just going to be any old human, but I do think that humanity can take the punishment because there's so many humans in the 40K galaxy or in the 40K universe. But also I'm interested to find out like how easy it's going to be for the Necrons to do that.
Yeah,
because
whole transference?
Yeah, biotransference. Because that is going to change the lore completely for the Necrons. They go from the silver tide of robots to, almost like the Tyranids, where they're like stealing the biomass and becoming better.
Yeah, the next evolutionary form is basically putting it simply.
Yeah, so then we have to look at the Emperor returning. If the Emperor returns, can GW do the same thing? Can they introduce a whole new model line in connection with the Emperor? It would have been a good place for them to do it with the Primaris Marines, because then it's like you get the Emperor and the Primaris Marines. But we'll see what the Necrons do. Yeah,
I made a video last week talking about what the Silent King's return means, and it makes sense because the Silent King's heavily tied to the Tyranids as well as the Blood Angels. So if this whole 9th edition rumor thing is true, maybe that would be the next box set. And if that's the case, then nothing really has changed with the Silent King coming out.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, you get new Necrons, but like, what's also going to change with the Tyranid lore? What's going to change with the Space Marines and the Blood Angels? The whole thing with Sanguinius too. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, and by connecting the Tyranids to the Necrons, you're connecting the Tyranids to the old ones. There is a really popular theory that the old ones created the Tyranids, and like the reason that they're sending. I actually, if you check out our 40 facts on where the old ones are now, I kind of talk about it, and I talk about how the Necrons, or sorry, the old ones might have created the Tyranids as a way to give the universe a clean slate. They kind of saw the catastrophe of the psychic warrior races, like causing the chaos gods to be born. So they kind of know that the only way to get rid of the chaos gods is to eradicate living life. Eradicate, like, psychically
Sentient beings.
Yeah. And by doing that, you kind of do what the Cabal was trying to do during the Horus Heresy. They wanted the Emperor to lose, because if the Emperor lost, then Horus would then basically plunge humanity into a downward spiral of destruction, weakening the Chaos Gods, and the Cabal would come out and stab him in the chest.
In the jetpack, hopefully.
In the jetpack, yeah. And I think that's what the old ones might be trying to do. Yeah. But we'll see.
Right. And if all life is dead, like the Necrons were saying, or the Silent King was saying, then they have no bodies to biotransfer to.
Right, and that's his big fear. The Silent King wants to find, flesh for his people to, like, live again. Even though I don't know how he's going to do that with the soul part.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But hey, we might find out. Good question.
Next one. What do you got?
This one's by Hollow Lantern, kind of on a similar theme. How would all the other races react if the old ones returned?
I think the Eldar might be...
Because to them, the old ones are their gods, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they know.
Yeah, it's kind of hinted that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But even if they don't know, I doubt the old ones actually look what they think their gods look like. So they might not know.
Yeah, it really depends on how realistic Games Workshop wants to interpret that. Because I've always thought about that. Like, if we actually had a time machine, went back in time and saw, like, who Jesus was, and it turned out he was just, like, a really, like, like, spiritual dude, but he's kind of like the gurus that you see now on YouTube commercials and stuff like that, trying to tell you, like, buy my product and I'll bring you peace and blah, blah, blah. Then I still don't think that... Even with that knowledge, I don't think that people who worship him today would still be like, no, like that's all bullshit. Like, they'd actually continue to believe. So it's kind of the same thing with the Eldar. Like, I think even if the old ones came back and the old ones were like, no, we are your gods, I think the Eldar would be like, no. Cain is still sitting in the craft world. And they would still continue to believe him. And in that way, like, they take on a life of itself.
Yeah.
Until they find Isha.
They go to find Isha, and it's just some, like, frog-looking dude in a cage.
Yeah.
Help me.
It's not even a woman.
Yeah.
And then as far as the other ones, like, I wonder what the orcs would do. Because, like, maybe the old ones would have the key to unlock that, like, ferociousness or to bring back the ferociousness in the orcs.
They'll become Smart Hulk from, like, the movies.
Yeah, they all wear glasses from now on.
Give people tacos.
And then, I mean, humanity, I think, would just see them as Xenos.
Yeah, they're just another alien race to purge.
Yeah, but maybe, like, there would be some type of, like, alliance between them and the Emperor. I think it would kind of suck. Because whenever we talk about end times, when we talk about, like, the next phase in the Games Workshop or in the 40K universe, I think it would suck if we saw an alliance between, like, the Eldar, the Tau, and humanity, which are considered, like, the good guys, against, like, the Orcs, the Necrons, and the...
Tyranids, Chaos, all that. But I don't think they'd ally.
I hope not.
If anything, it'd just be the quote-unquote good guys allying against everybody else.
Yeah. Because that'd be difficult.
But the one alliance that I actually would want to see and see how that plays out is the Tau with the old ones, to see how the Tau's technology can, like, integrate with old one technology and how they can, like, better each other. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of biological engineering would be involved, which is really cool. Especially because the Tau and all their caste systems seem to like push towards that anyways. Like there's still like biological or social engineering within the castes. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Another good question.
This one is by Dylan. He asks, does Mortarion eat his boogers? Another really good question to bring to such a good flow we were having.
Right.
No.
Yeah. The whole eating to preserve and continue your life doesn't affect Mortarion because he is blessed by Nurgle. His bromance with Nurgle fuels his life, but I don't think they're that close.
No. Also, I think in even the mini, the mask, if you remove the mask, I think it's just like nothing. So think of it as like those people that smoke too much cigarettes and get their jaws removed or something like that.
Oh, that's yeesh.
That's kind of like that. Yeah.
Speaking of having no jaws, Spock Flack, I think that's how you say it, or Specialist Flack, has a question. Can humans and space elves genetically comparable to make half space elves? Are they?
So can Eldar and humans interbreed? In the current lore, no. But there was a thing.
Yeah.
There was a either an Inquisitor or a Librarian from the Space Marines that was like a really good psyker because he was half elf.
Yeah, that's as cool as that sounds. It wouldn't make sense because again, Space Marines, the whole xenophobia. It'd be very interesting to have that play out, but still, like lore-wise, it wouldn't make sense. Even though Eldar and humans are very much alike physically, once you get into the anatomy, they're vastly different. The Eldar, I think they share like genetic blueprints with like slugs or something like that.
Yeah, either slugs or avians.
Yeah, and then obviously humans are simians or apes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys have seen that video with the chimpanzee and the frog, hats off to you.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
No.
What you probably think the chimp does to the frog is probably true.
Lick it.
He wasn't using that part of his body.
Next question comes from Rich Mendelson. Gersh, bro, you seem a bit low energy and disinterested in making videos lately. You okay, dude? Hope everything is all right. Well, a worldwide pandemic that's infecting everybody, and grandparents and grandparents are dying left and right. But I'm good. But no, I think I was just tired that day. I'm tired right now. That's just like normal though.
Speaking of being normal, Benjamin Manning has a question. Do you think the lore would be cooler if the Emperor had a queen?
No. So the reason I stopped watching what's that zombie show?
Walking Dead?
Yeah, Walking Dead was because of the romance bit that they kept trying to, or that they did put in, like in the first season and the second season.
Oh, with Rick and Shane and Lori?
Yeah, and I was just like, this is bullshit, so I stopped watching it. I really don't like romance stories within epic stories. Kind of
like if it's a horror, you want it to be focused on horror. If it's action, focus on action.
Yeah, like Star Wars with Han Solo and Leia. Like they teased at it, but it wasn't like the main focus. The main focus was saving people. So no, I would not want a queen.
Yeah, I think it'd be a vastly different lore and different like game state if that was a thing, because like whenever there's like kings and queens involved in most media, it's like there's always some like underhanded tactics, like the queen has like a secret agenda, or the king's just like treating her like crap, and like you're kind of forced to pick sides. Do you want to focus on the king or focus on the queen? Game of Thrones is like a really good indicator of this, with like Cersei and her underhanded tactics, and Robert Baratheon and having all these women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be a very different take on 40K. I think it would push it more towards like
drama
instead of focusing on the grim dark aspect of it. So yeah.
I just want to see masses and masses of human regiments die under the foot of the orc might, the green tide, which is one another reason why I really like the orcs, because there are no female orcs.
And if there were, what would happen?
They would all resemble Bridget B. Not even like orc versions of Bridget B, just Bridget B. Kind of like that one episode in Rick and Morty with
that alien that takes the bodies of people.
Yeah, the one that the sex robot.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, that one. Next question.
This one is by Georgios Psilios. If the Eldar can discover our world, what would be the outcome? Would they engage in war or negotiate an alliance? Are you talking about like Terra or like us here now?
What was this question?
If the Eldar encountered our world.
Oh.
I would assume nowadays, right? Because like obviously they know about humanity.
Yeah. If they encountered us right now, unless they had like some type of webway gate, well, I mean they would, right? Because Terra, I think they would try to like eradicate us.
I think they just ignore us because that's what they did during this time in Warhammer.
That's true. Yeah.
They just saw humanity as like primitive brutes, and they're beneath us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. It already happened.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Dan D16. Speaking of podcast, would you mind teaming up with Alpha Busa and the crew on that one? On a podcast? So our podcast is a D&D podcast. We don't have a 40K podcast. And Alpha Busa is the Emperor text-to-speech. Yeah. And they're pretty cool. Sometimes when we did a 40 Facts video on, I think they're the lore of one of the Space Marines that they created. They were cool. They contacted us and stuff. But no, there's no communication there. Maybe in the future. Mm-hmm. We talked to Voldemort. That was really cool. That was really fun. It's nice to like talk to people and like find out that the other lore, 40K lore people are just cool people, just part of the hobby and stuff like that.
Yeah, putting a personality to like the face, the speech, I guess.
Yeah, the text to speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would be down to like do a collaboration or something. That'd be cool. I have to contact them and I'll do all that stuff. Maybe in the near future.
Perhaps.
Next question.
Speaking of collabs, Jaegerbomb asks, do you think the Nightbringer will also return alongside the Silent King? The Nightbringer is back. Like he's never left.
Yeah. I painted him.
He's been
his shard.
Yeah, he's been sharded. He has some incontinence and he broke up into a bunch of little pieces. But yeah, he's always been there.
He was very difficult to paint, I remember, because he was fine cast. And the paint kept rubbing off.
I wonder why they went with the fine cast.
Cheaper. I'm guessing.
But would you have preferred that over the metal stuff?
Oh, yeah. Metal sucked painting.
I hated metal because they wouldn't glue or wouldn't like stick right.
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with metal. But you could throw it at cars and it could break their windows. That was always fun.
But then you just lost like $50 worth of like little metal.
It's a kilocons. I could just kit bash one out of the old like 40K tins.
So that's what happened to my back window.
Yeah.
It's like it's broken, but oh cool, kilocon.
Yeah.
It's like you win some, you lose.
Yeah.
Joshua Gallagher, can Plague Marines ever take off their armor? No, it's like fused to them.
That's part of their lore.
Mm-hmm. As they're pledging themselves to Nurgle, everything they have on kind of becomes a part of them. So if you guys are going to pledge to Nurgle, maybe having that My Little Pony onesie on isn't the brightest idea.
No, take it off. Butt naked.
Because we want to see you without your shirt.
All the time. Next question. This one comes from... Do you got one? I have one from Defool06. How will you guys stop or even reverse the Imperium's current technological deterioration?
Probably make if I was like in power or so, in the 40K universe, I would make every single Imperial complied planet to broadcast at least an hour of Bridget B to the populace to kind of get them kind of refocused and kind of make them know that, hey, if we want to see the rest of this, we gotta like stop regressing and progressing.
Yeah, but you gotta know like when to stop the video though. Like it doesn't matter which one you choose.
Yeah, it's like never get to the end of that scene. Like give them a tease and then stop, and then bring something else, tease them, stop.
Yeah, and she has a lot of videos for you to tease an entire Hive world or a Forge world population.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually a good one. I thought I would just like reopen ITT Tech. Yeah, what is it? I don't even know what it stands for. It used to be on TV a lot.
Yeah, I remember I'd like not be going to school one day, and that's the only commercials that would come on.
Yeah, it's for all the people that, you know, didn't end up going to school and they were just sitting at home watching TV when we were supposed to be in school.
Yeah, it's like, you watching Maury? Well, listen to this.
Yeah, ITT Tech.
Yeah.
Is it Illinois?
Illinois Technical Institute of Technology.
No, because there is an IIT.
Oh.
That's Illinois Institute of Technology, which is a legit, like, really good school. But ITT, I thought it was like something else.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's what I would try to do. Bring back the crappier version of it. And then last question.
Jaegerbomb. Which Primarch do you think would return to face off against the Silent King?
I mean, Sanguinius. They're kind of like giving us the little thing.
Yeah, because when Dante met with the Silent King wore Dante's freaking like face mask.
Yeah.
Isn't that freaking ballsy of him? Like,
I was gonna say it's like the Mexican luchadores, right? Like you wear somebody else's mask.
Yeah,
you gotta fight until you take that mask off.
That's disrespect.
Nacho Libre.
Mm-hmm. Nacho.
Yeah. I think Sanguinius.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, with the whole triumvirate of 9th edition, if that ever is a thing.
I want to draw that now. I want to draw the Silent King in a luchador mask fighting Sanguinius in another luchador mask. See who wins.
That'd be great. That'd be your brand, like return to drawing.
Yeah. Those are the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. And if you guys want to see me draw the Silent King as a luchador fighting Sanguinius as a luchador, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Because if I ever do it, I'll post it there. I probably won't post it here.
And as always,
this is Gershwan,
the Sound Alchemist, and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first, and then